So we're in a really hot market at the moment in Perth, and it requires a certain agility and confidence that I think also flows through from having a very clear plan. You've got that unshakable resilience of what having the wealth in your portfolio gives you. And look, it doesn't come overnight, but as we strategically acquire these properties, you're building that resilience.
Welcome to Perth Property Insider, where you will learn how to grow your wealth and improve your life using Perth property. Our show is brought to you by Investors Edge Real Estate, the highly rated and award-winning property management, sales and buyers agency servicing the whole of Perth. Now, here's your host, Jared Mann.
As we step into a very promising landscape for what's ahead in 2024, there's no better time, I think, than at the start of the year to take control of that financial future that's ahead for you. And the best way I know how is to create and have a strategic portfolio plan guiding you and giving you the clarity that you need for the steps to take today and in the years ahead. So we're in a really hot market at the moment in Perth, and it requires a certain agility and confidence that I think also flows through from having a very clear plan. Your plan needs to be well crafted, and it needs to have the bigger picture and involve all of your goals, both today and in the future, so that you're not making a number of purchases and then realizing that they aren't taking you towards those goals. And for me, I've had to go through a number of iterations where I look back and wish that I'd actually had a plan before going and making a number of purchases and realizing the hard way. It's absolutely crucial. So a plan can really help you at your various stages on your journey. You might be a first home buyer or you haven't, done any investing at all yet. You might be asking yourself, do you buy that first home and rent it out, or do you invest first, or do you buy your first home, consolidate things down for a number of years and then look at investing? So there's a lot of planning that can be done and really help you at that initial stage. And then when you move on to the next stage, you might be asking yourself, do you upgrade your home now or do you do it later? And then you start to go into, could you perhaps make purchase now of your future home, rent it out, and then move into it later? There's a lot of possibilities that exist to achieve some of these bigger home goals. Wouldn't it make sense potentially to be buying that future home in today's dollars rather than having to wait 2-3 years and pay for it in future dollars, providing that you could afford it? And you may be able to if it was rented out. You may not need to move to it yet. So other stages of life that a plan's really helpful for is, what investing do you do before and after your home upgrades? Before you do the home upgrade, it can actually support the home upgrade. It could help you create the equity that you need to fund it. Most people, just savings alone isn't going to get them to that place. And then once you've done your home upgrade, you want to really strategically look at how much debt you take to purchase that home. It might involve selling part of your asset base to have less debt on your home when you purchase it. And that's certainly the case when you get into the much higher price points. And then you want to look at, well, what investing do you make after you've settled and you've got your home in place and you're starting to pay that down? What investing do you make, and how much is enough to secure that future that you want? You don't want to work it out 20, 30 years from now that you didn't do enough. You didn't invest in enough. And the trouble is that with compounding, it's time that does the heavy lifting. So you want to get enough assets working for you early enough, but you also don't want to overinvest. And that's another area that I started to go down. Everyone just thinks you keep buying property forever because you've got the money or because you can afford to. But there is such thing as overinvesting, having too much risk. And you want to certainly make sure you leave enough for your lifestyle and to have all the things that you desire and to take those holidays and to upgrade your cars when you need and provide for your kids' schooling and have all the lifestyle aspects too. Now, some other considerations as you go might be getting into a better school catchment or being closer to that private school for drop-offs so that they can walk to their high school and back. And some of the other things that come up for me is how best to actually grow that asset base of investment properties so that you can also afford to hold on to it. And we've seen in the more difficult times, looking backwards, many people now will be wishing that they hadn't sold their properties when they did, all because they had to. So you really want to build in that resiliency and make sure that it's affordable for you to hold. And then, of course, when you get older, you're starting to ask yourself, how do you start transitioning to retirement or working less and having your portfolio provide some of that passive income to do that? And then you get to the final stage of how do you fully retire, and or with some of our clients, we're looking at how do we leave that legacy, how are assets passed on, how do we transition control of them over to the next generation? And I'm sure that's going to be certainly on more of our clients' minds in the years to come. So let's explore why creating a strategic portfolio plan for your property investments should be at the top of your priorities for this year. Well, I think it really helps you navigate through economic uncertainties. Let's face it, there's always something on the horizon to be pessimistic or uncertain about. Our world is in a constant flux, and having a strategic plan actually acts as your financial compass. The market is hot right now, so there's plenty of motivation to get in. And it's likely to be that way over the next 12 months, but everything moves in cycles, and we've seen that in the past. So economic uncertainties can be daunting, and they can come out of nowhere too. So having a well thought out strategy ensures that your property investments not only weather those storms, as I mentioned, for some of our clients probably wish that they didn't sell when they had to, but also you want to be able to be positioned to thrive in the mists of uncertainty. So the market will in all likelihood be very strong over the next year, but whenever that starts to change, you can position your portfolio to mitigate your risks. If you've been looking at potentially selling something or changing over some assets, that would be the time to do so. And you can look to seize opportunities and have that money aside for a really great purchase when those opportunities start coming up. And that's the benefit of a more down and quiet market too. More choice and more bargaining power, and you can make some really great opportunity, purchase some really great opportunities when they come around. So that's the first benefit, is having that, being able to navigate through those economic uncertainties and being positioned to take advantage of them. The second major benefit of having a strategic portfolio plan, I think, is maximizing your returns with informed decisions. So we've all heard the saying that knowledge is power, and it's especially true in the realm of property investment. Have you ever wished that you could go back and make a different property decision? Most of us, including me, have made mistakes with investing. And anyone who tells you otherwise is either lying or hasn't done much investing at all. Some things can't be predicted, but it's about making the best possible decisions at the time and having those buffers in place so that you're not forced to make any decisions. And what we lose with making a mistake, people just initially focus on the money that they might have lost. So they might have had to have sold a property when it was down, walked away, paid in some money, or they've tipped in, lots of money over the years. It hasn't really done much. Basically, they could have earned more in anything else, but we more focus on the money we've lost. But we also have the time that we've lost, which when combined with the money, we could have been in a much better investment that might have performed much better, especially when we take compounding into account. So that's the opportunity cost that we've lost as well. Not just the money if you sell for a loss, but even if you make a gain, you might have still had a much larger opportunity cost where you could have made a lot more in another investment. So getting my help with a strategic plan actually empowers you with the insights that you need to make those informed decisions and benefit from all the mistakes and experience that I've made over the years and the experience I've gained from helping our clients over the 15 odd years that I've been doing this, 20 years when I count from when I started investing. So this can come about in benefiting many areas, from the property selection to timing the market with purchases and sales. Each move's orchestrated with precision. And this approach is really going to ensure that every investment that you make aligns with those long-term goals, leading you to a more optimized and sustainable growth that is going to be affordable for you. And when we then think about the other major benefits of a portfolio plan, the next one that comes to mind is building a resilient financial future. So your property portfolio isn't just an investment, it's that pathway to financial resilience. And what is that? It means that you're sort of untouchable. If you lose your job, you've got enough behind you at that point to weather the storms. You've got equity decently created in your properties. You're playing the long game. You've got decent inroads already made towards your much larger long-term goals. You're untouchable. So you're just not as worried when it comes to the day-to-day things, because you've got that unshakable resilience of what having the wealth in your portfolio gives you. And look, it doesn't come overnight, but as we strategically acquire these properties, you're building that resilience. Once you get your gains, once your rents keep increasing, that financial security, it's hard to put a price on it. And it is hard to describe just how, good it is to be in that position. It's a sleep at night factor that you can't get any other way. And I believe it all stems from having a strategic portfolio plan. Now, the fourth major benefit of having one is aligning with your personal goals. And this one's really my favorite, because investing isn't just about numbers, it's about your life goals. And a strategic plan ensures that your property investments align with those broader aspirations. So whether that's creating a passive income stream, securing your family's future that we just sort of spoke about, or achieving personal milestones, each property in your portfolio then becomes a deliberate step towards realizing these dreams. And we can include in there family holidays, car upgrades, anything else to ensure that your lifestyle goals are met too. We don't want it to be all about investing. It's about what our investing can provide. So, number 5 of the major benefits of getting a strategic portfolio plan is a lot of people think that it's set and forget. You create the plan once and you never have to look at it again. And for a lot of people, that's why they are reluctant to even do a plan, because they're worried about it changing. For me, the best plans are set and revisit. Your plan should be dynamic. It should be revisited every year to check in on progress. And once we've done a strategic plan for you and you're working with us on the property management side, we're going to help you review things. We're going to see if the goals have changed, and if your plan needs to be altered, what actions to take in the year ahead, and what's ahead for us, and are we still on track? So, in conclusion, a strategic portfolio plan's really a roadmap to your wealth. In this dynamic world of property investment, success favors the prepared, and a strategic plan acts as your roadmap, guiding you through the intricacies of the market and paving the way for wealth creation. And as we embark on 2024, it's a great time to get my help to craft a plan that supports your goals in helping you find that most optimum route to get you there. By doing so, you're not just investing in properties, but you're growing your comfort zone and getting clarity on the right actions to take now to make that better future possible for yourself. So get in touch if you think I can help, if it's the right time for you. If you're going through any of those different stages, you might only be focusing on that first stage in front of you, but what about all the following stages that make up our life? Don't you think it would be important to plan towards them well and truly before we get there? I do. And I really see the difference that it makes with the people that I'm working with. So get in touch if you feel I can help. Thanks, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Just a reminder, the information discussed in this podcast is general in nature. As we don't know your specific situation, you should always seek professional advice before taking any action. For free market reports on your suburbs of interest and other helpful resources to grow your wealth, make sure you join my property investor update at investorsedge.com.au/join. And finally, make sure you're a member of our Perth Property Investment Facebook group to be part of the conversation with other like-minded investors, get help to your questions, and get a feel for what's going on out there in the market. I'll see you in the group.